Today. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. As you guys are all aware, we are joined today by Jason from Ghosthunter and Julia from Cemeteries Downunder.
G'day. How are you?
Good. How are you guys going?
Fantastic. Very good.
Very good. If anybody would like the links for these guys, you can check the description below or pinned to the top of the chat. We have their links there as well, so you can go check them out. So, I don't really have a plan today. Usually I have a few questions and things which we can go through if we get stuck, but I thought we'd kind of just catch up with you and see what you've been up to and stuff. Hi, Daniel. So,
Not much.
yeah, not much? Probably same as me.
It's been raining really heavily, and around floods. So it's very limited what we can do. Paranormal cemetery hunter.
Yeah, with all the floods and everything. Yeah.
The cemetery's all mud and slushy. So
Yeah. It's got to be crazy up there. Have you guys actually been affected this time around, or pretty much the same as last?
Just the two bridges were back under and and Jason had fun going to work yesterday.
Okay.
The roads were closed.
Jeez, okay.
And just like all the trucks and stuff like that, I've been there. But then when I'm driving home, it takes much to get home.
Yeah. See, me, every time I go to Sydney, I've got to have a GPS because I don't know my way around. I'd get lost. Lost in the blink of an eye.
Echo.
We still use Nav. All I know is to your place, head on the hill and go.
Yeah, exactly. Just veer off and follow the signs. It's easy to get here. Daniel said we have an echo.
We have an echo.
I have YouTube popped out for chat, but I have it muted. I'll close it, see if it changes. Hopefully that fixes it. We'll just have to watch out in case we get any trolls come in.
I'm watching it too.
Yeah. So, thank you. All right. So, one thing I really want to talk to you guys about, and this is going very deep, very, very early on in the conversation. I came across a couple of documentaries that I've never seen before about the Amityville house. Now, there's the massive hype around the hauntings and the Lutz family and everything else. Well, I've come across this documentary of a fellow who interviewed Ronnie DeFeo about what happened with the actual murders and the house and everything else. And apparently it was nothing to do with hauntings. Did you guys know that?
No.
I didn't either. And I'm thinking, this is a fair few years old now. This interview's from back in 2012. And I'm thinking, why have I never seen this before?
I don't know.
So apparently, from the documentary that I watched, so there was a lot of drugs and money dealings and stuff going on with the DeFeo family and other associates. But when the Lutz family moved in, there was a writer as well who wrote the story, and they decided to come up with the hauntings and things like that to try and make money off it.
Wow.
I am friends with the Lutzes. So, I just know from his post said that the 1979 movie, The Amityville, probably what actually happened.
Because that's where it's interesting too, isn't it? Because you've got the media's side of things, and then you've got the Lutz's personal side, and then you've got like Ronnie's side. And I guess too, just because something different may have happened with Ronnie, say for example it wasn't anything to do with hauntings, with what happened in the house, it could have had activity from that event that happened with the Lutz family, couldn't it?
It could have. I know Edward Warren investigated, and that little boy that you see everywhere online was the picture that Lorraine Warren.
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't know. Question, really.
Good morning, Sean. Daniel, no, the murders did actually happen. But we're just like, I was watching this documentary and they were saying that, it was actually Ronnie and nothing to do with demonic possession on his part. But the Lutz family is a completely different story as well. So, yeah, I just thought that was really interesting, like watching his side of things. Yeah.
Well, I know they've like interviewed people that have bought hints, and they've hadn't had problems, which is so interesting.
Well, that's what I heard too. Like every family. I'm gonna just check my headphones and stuff. Every family that's been in there since, hasn't had any hauntings or anything else. So
maybe the Lutz had a attack.
I don't know. Could have, yeah, definitely.
It could have been not the actual.
Oh, yeah. Because the Lutz family actually had activity happen after they moved as well, didn't they?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
They were very touched.
Yep. I think even the DeFeo family was as well. They had a lot of like religious statues out the front and that when they lived there. So, how's the echo, guys?
Yeah, a lot better. Hello, Fairy. M&A.
Hi, Fairy. Mark and Annette. So, did the Lutz family make up the whole thing? No, that's not what I'm saying. No.
No one knows. No. And it seems to be that Ed and Lorraine make as well.
Yeah, because they're very well known. See, that's one thing that I've always wanted to delve into, I wish was made public, was their investigation of the Amityville home, because I would love to know what they got there, like their story. So
there's about it. And I know kind of the series is based on what happened at the end. So it is interesting.
Do you guys have your YouTube open?
No.
I don't.
I can't hear an echo.
I can't hear an echo.
No.
I've got nothing.
I'm just going to open my phone and have a listen to it.
No. I've got nothing.
I'm just going to open my phone and have a listen to it.
No. I've got nothing.
I'm just going to open my there phone is an echo. Have a listen to it. That was you playing it. Yeah, I can hear myself repeating. It's my demonic voice coming through the microphone. Yeah, we're just troubleshooting. Delay, StreamYard. Because sometimes it looks like I'm
butting into the conversation when people are talking. There's actually a delay of a few seconds, and I think they're finished.
Okay, I can still hear the echo on your end. Oh, it could be.
How's that now?
Ooh. Yeah, I can still hear it. Oh. Yeah, we're just troubleshooting, guys. Okay, I can't hear it now.
No, it seems a bit better.
Can you guys hear it now? Is the echo gone?
No.
It's like I'm hearing it for you. It's like
You're here.
Your external speakers on.
Me?
Yeah.
Maybe the computer's.
Hey Tara, hey Margot.
Hi Tracy. Hello Tara. Hello Margot. Hello Tara. Hello Margot.
I'll unplug my headphones and then I shouldn't have any microphones or anything kind of plugged in there.
Don't know, is that any better?
Is it better now?
Oh dear.
You gotta love StreamYards and their echo. I used to have issues with this like ages ago.
Yeah.
StreamYard.
Yeah, when I first started using it. Still echoing. Oh my god.
We used it live once in the cemetery building because the photo quality was pretty crap, back blurry, and we were really disappointed.
Yeah. We're getting there, guys. We're troubleshooting. How are you guys? If there's any questions you have, chuck them into the chat. Yeah, they said they can hear it, but I can't. Do you hear it?
Yeah.
You do?
It's not bothering me.
No.
I've checked all the settings. A few things.
Oh, bugger.
Hang on, I'll turn the mic down. Any better, guys?
Is that better?
Yeah.
We just got to wait. They got a 2-second delay.
Oh. That sounds better to me.
It's only Jason's feed. Well, if you guys can, in the chat, can persevere with it, if it's not too bad.
Let us know.
Yeah, if it's too annoying. I reckon that they should have a setup like this on YouTube where you can go on and you can have 1 or 2 guests and, stream straight from there. Turning your speaker down. I think that's what they did before, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's right down now.
Yeah, they turned it down. So, yes. Let me find my handy-dandy questions. All right. So, yeah, if you guys have any questions, throw them into the chat and we will answer them for you. I'll just go on. I don't know how many actually know. It's the Rob curse. I don't know how many of you guys actually know Jason and Julia. If you don't, I encourage you to go over. Their links are pinned to the top of the chat. But do you guys want to tell us a little bit about your channels? I know that you're probably just repeating yourselves again, but...
No, that's okay.
Well, I have Jason Ghosthunter. We go out and investigate mysteries and We do a lot of hush jobs too. And we love helping people out there anywhere we can.
And
Investigations too, haven't you?
And private investigation.
Yeah. Yep.
We've filmed.
And what about you, Julia?
We're happy to be filmed. We've filmed one only because but most of the time we just don't talk about it. Most of the time we just don't talk about it because it's confidential.
Yeah, exactly.
Mine's cemeteries, cemetery exploring, history of people that are buried at the cemetery that I visit. Some notable, not notable. So it's basically what my channel's about.
People got questions. How did Julia and Joseph started with paranormal?
How did we get started? You can say how you got started.
How I got started is I lost my brother to a car accident. And for 2 weeks straight, basically sitting around talking to me. First off, I was going to hospital. But then I said hello, and we started talking. And after that, he turned around and said, hey, we've got some work to do. Me, I'm thinking, what work have we got to do? Well, I found out what he meant by work, going out paranormal and helping people and going to people's houses and stuff like that. So that's how I ended up finding out what he meant by work.
Wow.
Yeah. With me, I had the gift of seeing and speaking to the kids little. I used to be really scared of the dark. I grew up in a Christian family, so I thought it was bad to speak to them. I try and block it as much as possible. And now I'm more clairaudient, so I hear them, I feel them. But I don't see them because my prayers block the sight. So I started going to spiritual churches years ago and learned to develop my intuition so I could read for others and not be so afraid. And then I met Jason 6 years ago and we started a team together.
Any place you would never go back to?
None
for me.
No. Every time I get scared, I get determined to go back and face it head on. You know, because it's really fear that they feed on negative energies. They feed on fear. So if they know you're afraid, they'll play on that.
When I'm too close to the mic, I just move the computer back.
Yeah. What about you, Julie? Any place you wouldn't go back to?
I'm just trying to think. I think from all the places that I've been so far, I don't think I've been to a place that has been that bad that I wouldn't go back. You know, I've been touched. I've seen shadow figures. I've had a lot of stuff happen. I've never had any contact with the demonic, and we've spoken about this before. Not that I want to, but I think if I had any kind of contact with the demonic, maybe that would change my mind. But no, not so far. So, yeah.
There's a couple of places I'd be hesitant. Like, I am planning to go back there, but I've also got that hesitancy because I know it's not got a good energy out there. But I'm still determined to go there and show that I'm not afraid.
Have we used it with you or no?
I have in the past when I was a teenager and young adult and I was still dabbling with the occult and learning things. I probably would use it again if I was with someone that knew how to use it. Like I wouldn't just grab one and start doing it myself. You know, I know a lot of teams that use it, go table rapping and do it successfully. But I'll be honest, I'm still a novice in that area and I'm a big believer in not messing with something you're not really confident in because that's when you're likely to run into trouble.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, I've used it so far once, and it was with Yvette from Ghost Bitches and Fee from Fee's Paranormal Journey. And we did it when they came down here the night before we went to Monte Cristo. Actually, we used it at Monte Cristo as well. Both times we had nothing come through, but I've kind of said that, like, because Yvette's used it many times before. She knows she's doing, but we never had any through. And I said to her, I think it's because I closed myself off to it because I was scared of what was going to come through. And I think that I would use it again because I'm being curious about it. But same as you, it would have to be with someone that has done it before and knows what they're doing. And you have to be in the right frame of mind to go into it as well. You know?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I'd have to agree
yeah.
there. Only because as a teenager and in some of our private investigations that are confidential, we have had cases where people have been tormented by something in vibration, and it's usually because they've dabbled in Ouija boards out of curiosity, nothing more. So,
Yeah. I think a lot of the stories even that I've heard have probably been the same. It's been people that have used it and have had things happen. Most of the time it's because they're inexperienced. So, yeah. Yeah.
Julie been as long as I
yeah,
have
but
to.
not an Ouija board.
But
No. But in saying that, I think any divination tool is a portal. So the necrophonic is meaning that you open a gateway, so to make I'm confident in those things, and we do protection before and after. It's just with the Ouija board, it's more the unknown for me. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we've got another question from Daniel. How to tell a demon from a spirit?
Hi, Crypto.
Oh, you're going to know.
Hello.
Hey, Crypto.
how do you tell a demon from a spirit?
Demonic's very different to a lower entity. Now, a lower entity is someone that's basically not a nice person that's died and is still not a nice person or she. A demon, however, a true demon, they're not going to really talk to you through the voice box. They'll impersonate maybe a child or they'll impersonate a spirit, but they more mess with your mind. So they will play games with, you feeling suicidal, depressed, money loss, health worries, your animals become sick, you go through a run of bad luck. That's how demons play. Unexplained bruises, all that kind of stuff. It's not like in the Conjuring movie where you start levitating and things like that. We do work with a couple of teams of demonologists, and I know of one case where a woman would be sitting, and next minute she would have lesions just appear on her skin for no reason. She couldn't enter a church. She couldn't say prayers. A telltale sign if someone's got demonic infestation in their home is that they're almost OCD with cleaning. In removing clutter, it's almost like they're trying to rid themselves of it. So when we go to a private investigation and there's places that's cluttered or they've got a storeroom that's messy or something like that, if they're getting affected by anything, it's a lower entity. It's not a demon. It's more rare.
From everything that I've kind of seen too from demonic, kind of infestations, I think lower level entities at times, have the ability to throw things at you or whatever. But with them, it's kind of more a bugger off, And with demonic, it's almost like they wear you down over time. They'll do things to create fear and wear you down to a point where hopefully they can possess you. Is that
Well,
right?
no, they're after your soul, basically. So
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot of people that have addictions, whether it's alcoholism or drug addictions, gambling, all of them can be affected by demons.
Mm-hmm.
But it's coming out as an addiction. You know what I mean? An
Mm.
unexplained illness that won't go away would be likely to be caused by a demon. Lower entity like to impersonate demons. They like to scare the bejesus out of you, like you said, slam doors, throw things,
Mm-hmm.
carry on. But at the end of the day, they just try and scare you.
Yeah.
But a demon, they will, yeah, they'll really mess with your mind. I mean, a lot of people that go through a run of bad luck where they've lost jobs, they've been sick, and you know, will end up getting to the point where they want to end their life. A lot of them are affected by demons. And with a lot of mental health and a lot of disabled people, they tend to be affected by demons because they're easy prey, because
Yeah.
they're already suffering from mental health or a disability. People don't often tell that it could be something paranormal.
Hmm. Okay.
Got a
Very
question.
interesting. Yep.
What is your favorite form of communication? Um, Ghost box, yeah. I'd like the ghost box and the necrophonic tool.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Only because of the things that come through it. It just blows your mind, and it's different voices, different accents, different. It's always appropriate to where you are. So
Mm-hmm.
that'd have to be my favourite.
Yeah, I think that's my favourite too. I like the fact too that you can hear them come through. It's kind of almost like a conversation, like you're talking to each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've loved the ghost box ever since I first got it. So yeah, it's a big favourite of mine.
Do you ever do what I do? When you're bored, you just go and head down in the cemetery and turn it on just to pass time and have a chat.
I did that yesterday.
I love doing
So
stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah, me too. Just go down, take photos, and just talk to them. Yeah,
I don't even take photos. I just sit there and have a chat.
I love taking photos of the cemetery, especially when you've got like the nice stormy skies and the bad weather. They create amazing photos. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Oh.
Very first encounter, how would you tell?
Oh, for being good spirit. Um, Look on suspicious as soon as someone says there's a child haunting them or there's a child.
Hmm.
Because a lot of demons will impersonate children, so you think they're safe. You'll think, oh, poor little lost soul, they can stay here, they're only a kitty.
Mm.
But they probably 90% not a child.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Especially when a
Yeah.
child asks you to, can they stay? You
Mm,
always answer it right is no.
No.
Right out no.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
Because then you know you're dealing with something that's
Mm.
not a child, because child never ask.
mm.
Yeah. See, taking the investigation aspect out of what I'm about to say, because that's a different thing. I have recently watched a couple of videos in the new season that Sam and Colby have put on YouTube. And one interesting tidbit that they've came across going through a few haunted locations in the US is that the Sally House, I think it was the Fairfield Infirmary, there was another one too, the Bel Air House, and I think that there was one more. They all have a little girl that's haunting the residents. Now she has different names, but if you look at the sketches and like pictures that people say this little child spirit looks like, she looks the same across every single house, to the bow in her hair, to the curls, to the dress. And I thought that's fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah. And there was a man that was living in the Sally house, or he bought the Sally house And even though he saw the little girl with the bow, he was getting lacerations appearing on his body and that too.
Yeah, that's right. The family that lived
Quite,
there.
yeah, he was
Yep.
getting quite singled out. So
Mm-hmm. It's
yeah,
ironic. It's ironic because when I first was watching YouTube before I made my own channel, I was watching a group called Life Sci-Fi, Tim Wood, and he used to go to the Sally House all the time to try and gather evidence about what exactly was there. And he has a medium, a sketch artist that works with him called Kristen Manning, and she used to sit down and draw the entities that she saw in the home, and they had a picture of this little girl, Sally. And if you look at that picture and then you look at the one at the Bel Air house and that, they are identical, you know? Yeah, it's fascinating.
very, very different. Yeah, creepy. Yeah,
See you,
I tend
Crypt.
to not talk children.
Yeah, I love sci-fi too. Lucky Bugger just got a show on, what is it, Discovery Channel or something. So, but we can't watch it here unless you've got,
Foxtel.
yeah, Foxtel. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we don't have it here either. We just have the free to air channels. So.
yeah, me too. But yeah. Any other questions, guys? We're getting a good conversation here.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the questions. Thank you.
Yep, and there's
Absolutely.
in this kind of thing, we always believe there's no dumb questions. If you've got a question, doesn't matter what you think or what it is, just ask. And if you're not sure about it, ask. You know what I mean? Like, it's always good to do that.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, and we don't know everything. I mean, we're still learning. I think part of the paranormal journey, you're always learning. You know?
That's exactly right. I had another question too, and it's just gone. I can't remember what it was. Ghost Town Terror, yeah. Oh, favourite cemetery in New South Wales.
Favourite cemetery.
Rookwood, hands down. That's my happy place.
Yeah.
Which one was that?
Rookwood.
Oh yeah.
That's my favourite.
Yeah.
It's not just because it's huge. It's just, I don't know. It's just the feel. I've always been drawn to it, and I love the old chapels with the Gothic fixtures and all the different looking tombs and tombstones. And funny enough, I used to go down there and talk to them all the time without my ghost box.
Yeah.
Before I met Jason, and I took him down there one day, and I said, "I'll show you where I sit," and because he can see them. I said, "What are they saying? Are they saying hello? Do they miss me?" And he goes, "No, they tell me here comes that lady that talks too much."
Cheeky buggers.
Well, I thought they were my friend.
You know, what's funny is that I was going to say the same thing. I've been to Rookwood that one time, and I am coming back to see you guys, to see Tara, everyone. Cool. But the minute I walked in that place and stepped out of the car, it's almost like you're welcomed. There's a feeling there that draws you in. There really is. Yeah. It's an amazing place. Yeah.
You never get sick of it. I mean, I've been there so many times. You know, with my channel, I did a 4-part series, and I could have done easily a 20-part, but I didn't want to bore people and keep going to the same cemetery. So I thought I'd better explore some new ones. But it's just timeless. You could just go on, and you could get lost there. I mean, we've spent many a day just spending the whole day there, you know.
That's still there.
Yeah, definitely. Hang on. My computer is being a pig at the moment. All right, here we go. Oh my God, there we go. Some people think they're nothing. Some people they're spirits.
Orbs. I think some are, especially if they're like a certain colour or bright and they're moving different way. Like some are dust particles, but the ones that stand out to me are like you'll see in some of our videos, they're not moving like a dust particle. Dust particle tends to go in one direction, but these are actually moving around like that and like almost zigzag or around in a loop, and some are different colors. So I do believe some orbs are real, some are dust, but we just let the viewers decide on how you feel, because we're not gonna, everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah. See, and this is the thing too, like, I actually commented on someone's video today, and she's a friend, about orbs or an anomaly that she picked up. And to me, and I stated on there, I said, this is just my opinion. I said, but it appears that they may be bugs because of the shape, because of the flight pattern, like you could see the wings of one, and because they were so kind of solid, whereas orbs kind of have a luminescent appearance, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And I said, this is just my opinion. People don't have to agree with me. I said, but, and I watched the whole video and she was fine. She came back and said, it could possibly be, thank you for your comment. I think that's important too. When we put our stuff up here on YouTube, we leave it there for people to kind of analyse as well. But yeah, I've never caught an orb on camera. Never. I'm still waiting for that day.
And do you have a favourite section at Walkwood?
Yes, I do. Down in the old Anglican section, behind the Elephant House, there's like a kind of like a drain system that's all flowered and fountains and things. I tend to hang out down there. Yeah.
It's like when Julie took me there one day for the first time. She goes, I bet you can't work out where my favourite place is. Yeah, right there. And she goes, huh? What?
He guessed it.
It's right down at the back.
Yeah.
And, I'm very much a person. I'm open and friendly, but I'm not like a great big social person. And because I work with the community all the time, sometimes I just need to go and, go to a place where there's no one around me. And cemetery is a good place to do that, because besides spirits, people aren't going to come up and strike a conversation because they're grieving and they want their own space. So that's my go-to place if I need to just sit down and chill out somewhere. My second place would be the beach, but I don't live very close to the beach. So
yeah, I love the beach too. It's very calming. But the cemetery, it's almost like you can go there. You can go there when you want to be surrounded by people, but not have people around. Do you know what I mean? Because they're on the other side. Tara actually contacted me. She found my channel and asked when I come to Sydney next if she can tag along. And I made mention that maybe she can go along with you guys one day if you're available, because she just wants to see like an investigation and how you kind of do things and that. Yeah. So
well, we used to have open ghost hunts before COVID. We get some people from Jason Ghosthunter Facebook page that followed him and said, hey, if you just want to hang out, bring your equipment, we'll hang out together type thing. So maybe we could do another thing like that.
Yeah, that'd be great. I know she'd love that. Definitely.
And let her know that if we always get somebody to do it on their own, but we're not far away from them. Normally, stick them in the middle somewhere so they get to experience what we experience. Because some people go, oh, but I want to experience what you do. So what I do is, okay, this is the first one. I want you to go over here. I take them to the location, get them to stand there, and we go away. But we're not that far away, but we can see them so they can experience what me and you and everybody else, what we're doing an investigation. I tell them what to do, ask questions and stuff like that. So they can experience what we experience. But if something's going to happen, what are they going to do is go, hey, guys, I need you, and we're there like that.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Never too far away. You know, the one thing that I got, it took me a while to get used to, and I know this would be different for you, Jason, because you've been in front of the camera before, but it was talking to the camera like you're talking to a person. I felt so weird doing it, you know?
Oh, me too. Me
Mm,
too. Like, especially with my Cemeteries channel, like I feel like I'm talking like a robot, especially when I'm listening to it, and I'm like,
yep.
gosh, you know, maybe I sound really crap, you know. And it's just nerves. When
Mm,
I'm in his world, in his channel, well, I'm too busy trying to get evidence and trying to get my bearings about, you know, listening for sounds or things like that. I'm not paying attention to how I talk or look.
yeah.
But in the cemetery one, when I'm reading someone's story, I think, oh my God, I sound so stupid. And at first, like if you see my early ones, they're awful. Like in my, I think they are because I'm like, you know, and I'm
Yeah.
hoping I'm improving with time. So,
Uh, That's a nice thing though, when you can look back on your earliest videos to the ones that you have now and you can see your journey, you know.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love looking back on them. Yeah.
Even our paranormal ones, I mean, we
Oh,
look at the ones that we started out on, and they were hilarious. We just go, oh my
Yeah.
God, should we delete them? And I went, nah, leave them there as a reminder to us on how much we've grown since then. You know,
Yeah.
um, people like our channel, they'll like it regardless. So
mm.
Yeah, exactly. And it's good to look back on too, you know,
have
see
a
where you've
laugh,
been. Exactly.
If you could go to any place in the world,
investigate.
uh,
Oh,
mine would
oh.
have to be Doll Island over there
Mm-hmm.
where they're full of dolls. I'd like to be put in the middle there on my own. I'd do that. And prisons, the big, I'm going to where Vegas are at the moment.
Oh, Brushy Farm,
No, not Bussy Farm. There's a big, on the island.
Alcatraz.
Alcatraz, I want to do that.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
He's got a list.
Oh,
there's a
I
couple
do.
of places I would love to get in. But that Doll Island, I
Mm-hmm.
would, if they betted me, I would not sleep there all night. Well, I would win money down because I'll be partying hard with all of them because I'll be starting the party with all of those ghosts on board on that Doll Island. But 100% Doll Island and Aquastas, 100%. Got no problems about that.
Yeah. Julia, what about you?
Mine's a bit closer to home. I'd love to go to um, what's that mental hospital in Sydney, the Gladesville.
Okay.
But it's owned by the health department, so and they use it as admin buildings. But you
Mm-hmm.
can use the grounds, and there's apparently 1,000 like mass grave of 1,000 people in the grounds.
Yep.
So you can go in there. So I'll probably do one in there. But if I could get into the building, that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but maybe one day, and I would have loved to have done that St John's place in Goulburn, but now it's been burnt down and they're pulling it down. Yeah.
Which is sad. Yeah.
But I do have a couple of places in Melbourne. One would be Aradale, the
Aradale,
mental asylum down there.
Yep.
Beechworth.
And yeah, I'd love to do some of those places. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, you know,
I always said my number one at the top of my list would be Waverley Hills. I don't know
yes,
why. There's just something about that place.
it looks creepy. Hey,
Oh yeah, and just like because they have the Nightcrawler and that there as well, and it's like it'd be freaky, but I'd love it. you
I'd
know?
love to have Australia do more things like in America. In America, they take a few old buildings and they actually rent it to paranormal investigators. I mean, so
Yep.
you know they get their money in restoration and everything by doing that. I wish
Mhm.
they did that more here instead of just pulling them down and rebuilding or just yeah because
Mhm.
we've applied to many places and we've got knocked back because they always say it's unsafe. That's their biggest excuse, but it's got nothing to do with it. They just don't want you on their premises. So
Yeah, and I think I think Australia's a little behind the US as well in terms of accepting that the paranormal world actually exists. Like, it's not a negative thing, and if you actually create a place for people to come into and they have to pay to go in if it's not exorbitant, I think that people are willing to come in and pay just for the experience.
Yeah.
So yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, and there's a few places we'll do, but it's just a matter of putting some money aside because I think there's one place I've got my heart on. I'm not going to say where, but they want like 2,000 for the night.
Oh,
So,
damn, that's a lot of money.
but it'll be worth it. Let me just say that.
Yeah. My biggest issue is anywhere that you can go in on your own to investigate is quite expensive, and it's cheaper if you go in a group. But if it's a group of people that are just there for the thrill, they're going to be noisemakers, and you're not going to get anything out of the investigation. So you're kind of forced into a corner with, payment. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of really cool places around, that you can walk into and investigate, but it does cost an arm and a leg. So, yeah. Let me see. I'm just looking through the questions I have here.
Back in 2 seconds.
Okay. Favorite investigation you've ever done? Favorite place, evidence, everything.
I'd have to say Wiseman's Ferry Inn.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favourite one, hands down. Not only did we get our best evidence, that weird anomaly, which is closest to a ghost that I could see because it's got like a face.
Yeah.
And and just the creepiness of the place. It was really like creepy. Like, I have sat alone in cemeteries at night with the Tide to Death challenge and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I felt more afraid sitting in that museum alone with the night vision on than I did in the cemetery surrounded by a whole lot of dead souls. You just felt you were being watched, you were being unwanted. And I had, coming through the ghost box over and over again, be careful, because the owner had shoved his wife off the balcony and killed her. And every time I sat out there, like, I'd let Jace go and have a turn being in there, and then I'd go out and, and there was a lot of footage that we didn't show because we had to edit it down to a reasonable show. It did not like me, and it kept saying, better be careful. So I'd be sitting on the balcony going, shit, is this thing going to try and push me off? But yeah, it was really unpleasant. But I'd go back because it was an adrenaline rush at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. Mine, I think, would probably be Monte Cristo. I mean, I haven't been to a lot of actual buildings. I've been to a lot of cemeteries, not buildings, but a lot of people I've spoken to have said they've gone into Monte Cristo and had absolutely nothing happen. And I think that it's one of those places that has both residual and intelligent hauntings, because whatever was there when, me and Fee and Yvette stayed there that night was making contact with us, touching, grabbing, stuff like that. But it's one of those places like Rookwood, it just calls to you. Once you've been there once, it'll draw you back in.
I'll have to do that one day. I've been on the outside, haven't been in there.
Yeah. You can. Well, school holidays, they're open every day. Otherwise, they're open, I think it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and maybe Monday. and you pay $15. You can go through the house and the yard and sheds and spend as much time as you want there. So, yeah, I thought it's pretty good value.
What was the favourite place you've been to?
Yeah, there was been fair because of the evidence we're copying because the amount of screaming plus what happened with Julie or the thing at the back that mist come out of nowhere and the amount of the response that we're getting from there and also the brick shop, the brick mill.
Old factory, that was fun.
That was good. The response we got from there and they actually told that blonde lady, like it confirmed to us that they could see her.
They could see what we look like.
And it really gave us the evidence beside that because we role played it and what they said in the role play, what we're doing, it showed us that they could see us. So probably those two locations, and I feel sorry for Wiseman up there because he was yelling and screaming that much. But I'm going to tell you about he would have had Suvers after that. He would have been laying down with a sore throat because what he was doing. Coming through. He hated us that bad that he was literally, you could hear him screaming.
Yeah.
I mean, screaming at us. And it didn't work getting us out of there. It just made us more happier. But yeah, the other one, the old factory, just what they say in the evidence, it really gave me positive what I liked.
The last one we did, the unknown place, was great too. It's just a shame we couldn't do a thorough one. Because the owner wanted it unknown, so we just got a few tidbits and that was it.
Yeah, that was a shame. Yeah.
Yeah, but that thing really went off. That was like 130 years old, was a nursing home. Before that, it was a school built in the 1900s, so that was already showing huge potential. So it was just,
And also the now old police station. That was pretty good too.
It was okay, but it was one of those nights where we went and we had a limited time only, because we had arranged with the Historical Society to go down there. We only had a time limit. And it only just started getting interesting because we started in the afternoon and finished in the early evening. I would have loved to have gone there, say, midnight.
Yeah.
Because he did have reports of someone that used to do night duty watchman, and apparently they never wanted to come back.
Oh, wow.
So, but it was just one of those ones where you silently pray, come on, guys, give me some action. You know, you were just hoping something would happen.
And we did get some EVPs that come through on the camera. And that was interesting, you know what I mean? Like, there was nothing turned on besides the camera, and we got some EVPs coming through. And I went, hang on a second, there's nothing turned on besides the camera. And then that's where we started catching on that they were actually talking. And, that was what I liked also.
Yeah.
There's a good question. Do you think that spirits are more active during the night time, or do you think it's the reason that we get more at night time is because there's so much noise and distraction during the day, whereas at night you're more tuned into it because it's quiet? What do you think?
I think it depends on the place. With that one, I felt definitely the later, the more action you would get.
Yeah.
Some places, things may have happened in the day that left residual. It's, whatever time it happened. Like, say, for instance, you went into a house where someone had died at 3 PM. You might get activity around then, as a rule, spirits tend to not know the sense of time or day or anything. I think nighttime is always the most popular because you're likely to get better photographs. It's more quiet.
It looks better.
So, it's more quiet, so you're going to pick up things more without outside disturbance. You're not going to get the guy mowing the lawn next door and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But as a rule, if a place is haunted, it's haunted.
No matter what time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you guys went to, I can't remember the name of it, where they had the battlefront on the ocean.
Yeah.
And they used to have the turret there. and you had the residual people coming through, and it was almost like they were recreating the moment of ships coming in and that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was unreal.
And it had a couple of names that came through when we looked them up on Google. They actually were around that time. Like they were working in that area and they were part of the Navy. So, and I mean, we wouldn't have known. So they were names that came up through the necrophonic. So we didn't make them up. So.
Yeah. That was cool. I like that video. And sometimes I don't think that's, disrespectful at all. I think that sometimes if you walk into an environment and you can recreate a moment for them, especially if it's in regard to stone tape theory, if the conditions are right, you can activate a memory from the building. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's part of the thing when we do investigations, like with Sergeant Jason down at the police station.
Nah, that was good.
Fun. But we're not being rude or disrespectful. We're not saying, calling them names or anything like that. We're just putting on a police hat because it was an old police station. They would recognise a police hat or police uniform. Okay, Julie's having a break.
Where did she go?
Don't know.
If anybody's got any questions, don't just bring up the questions and we'll be happy enough to answer for you. The phone must have run.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So has anybody else had experiences in while going out ghost hunting or been to a cemetery, and what's your favourite places?
Yeah, if you'd like to share your experiences, that'd be great too.
Just waiting for Julia to come back.
Yeah, and I hope everybody's having a great weekend, or if it's not a weekend, wherever you are, hope you're having a good day.
Put down where you're all from, so we know where you're watching from. Or she's trying to talk to us.
Unless it's on pause or something.
No, not on pause. I can see it moving. Here we go.
Here we go.
Haven't really had any really want one though. Experience.
I've seen some of your locations and they're awesome.
Yeah.
Especially the country
Adelaide.
Cemeteries and churches.
They're in Adelaide. Cool.
Well, South Australia's got some really awesome places.
Definitely want to get back down again.
Maybe try Kapunda.
Yeah.
Kapunda's goes off.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we've been at Kapunda. But there's other places that we still want to go to.
Yep, I have said Laura and I, Monte Cristo is our...
On our list.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd have to say it's on my list too, Tracy. I want to go and check it out. Everybody talks about it, had experiences there, so now I want one. So...
Have you been there? I've been there. I've slept in a room there, and apparently it's meant to be the most active room there, and I slept like a log, but the guy in the next room over, he woke up in the middle of the night, and what happened is he saw like a black shadow looking out the window, and he froze. I said, why didn't you bash on the wall? I would have been in there, click, 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 with cameras in my hand, but yeah. I just slept like a baby. Nothing happened to me.
What we got? Hello. I have to look at the phone to try and get faces and names.
Here she is.
Yeah, bye.
Sorry, I had an emergency. I had to take off.
Okay.
Sold Lou and I on Monte Cristo. It's on our list now. Oh, definitely. Put Monte Cristo on your list. And you guys haven't been there either, have you?
He's been there.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Did you have anything happen there, Jace?
No, I did have a room where they got the baby cot in the room.
Mm-hmm.
That's the room I stayed in. I slept like a log. I was laying there in bed going, please, give me some action, because apparently they meant to jump on the bed and got nothing. I slept like a log. The guy on the other side in the next room, he woke up middle of the night and froze because he saw like a black shadow looking out the window, and I was saying, he was telling us in the morning, I said, why don't you just bash on the wall? Because I would have been coming in there with my camera going click, 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 but he didn't bash, and he said he froze. And I went, damn, and it happens to everybody else besides me.
Yeah. So, were you in room number 1? It's the very first room. See, I was in number 3. Yeah. See, the thing I like about Monte Cristo, and we should get like a whole group of investigators and we all go in there the one night. Talk Lawrence into it. But the thing I like is that he won't tell you anything about the room that you stay in. He'll let you sleep overnight, and then the next morning at the breakfast table, he'll ask everybody, okay, did anyone experience anything? And then after you've shared your experiences, he'll tell you the history of each room so that you're not putting ideas into your mind before you go to sleep, you know? Yeah. I love that, yeah.
Where she's outside, we've got the balcony go around and got a room outside.
Where's that?
It's up top floor as you walk around. I think it's a chapel room. There's a bed in there.
Oh, yes.
Well, they said to all of us when I was there, who would dare to sleep in this room? My arm went clean up and they wouldn't let me sleep in there.
Oh.
I wanted to. They go, what happens if she wakes you up? I said, she's going to have a good reason why she's waking me up. Have coffee and a smoke. Mm-hmm. If she's got neither, don't wake me up.
Yep, exactly. You know, the last time I was over Monte Cristo, I went into the Doll Museum, and I was talking to Lawrence's wife. She runs the Doll Museum. And I said, I'd love to be here for Halloween. I think it was last year. And she goes, Lawrence has got like a little secret room he might put you in. She goes, because otherwise we're full up. So there is a little secret room under the stairs. If they're ever full and there's only one of you, you can stay there. Apparently it's active too. Wow. So, Do you guys ever use EchoVox?
No. I did download it and I found the echoing part of it annoying me. That's just me personally, but I've had a lot of people that use it and swear by it. And even when I use the Necrophonic, I don't put the echo part on it. It just irritates me. But, I know a lot of people that use it and swear by it. I've got a friend that's her favourite toy. It's just but I've heard next to Necrophonic, it's pretty legit. You get a lot of true stuff come through it.
Is that the one that Omar uses, or is it different? I can't remember what one it is that he uses. I don't anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore. I've actually got Sam from UK from Life After Life. She's got a box and she's going to, make sure it works fine and send it over. But these they're modded old radios and things, and they turn them into spirit boxes, but they don't have all that white noise, the static noise.
Yeah.
And they work so good.
Hi, Irish Eyes. How are you?
Hey, Irish. So yeah, that'd be pretty cool, getting that.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's the only thing with
a
the.
REM pod to turn up. So a REM pod.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
been using the cat balls and the K2, and I wanted
yep,
to start accumulating more toys. So we
mm-hmm,
ordered a REM pod.
yep,
So that's
yeah.
coming to the UK.
That's one of the ones that I've always been fascinated with too. Is the REM pod?
Also, I want to get that music one where they
The
automatically
music
play
box.
it. The music one.
Yeah.
I want one of those, but you just can't get them anywhere.
You can.
Hey, Linda.
Hey,
See,
Linda.
this is a conversation I had with somebody. Hey, Linda. I had this conversation with someone the other day because I said, apart from our what is it, ghost shop in the Q station that's connected with Q station, there isn't really anywhere in Australia that you can buy ghost equipment. And I said, I wish that there was someone who had a scientific background that would sit at home and make these things for a bit of extra money, and we would be able to source them from Australia instead of having to pay 3 times the price because of postage from UK or US. Yeah.
For sure.
So if there is any scientists in Australia out here anywhere, we're calling to you.
There is one that the Paranormal Radio has alliance with. Supernatural Radio, Paul Casey.
Yeah, I think it's the same one. They're the ones that are connected with Q Station. Yep. Yeah, they're good, but they are limited to what they have. That's the only thing. Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
And we had a night walk last night with Necrophonic.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
How was it? I hope you filmed it so I can watch it.
Hopefully it was good. I like using the Necro. I know that I hate apps, but I like the Necrophonic.
Yeah, I do like it. The only thing I find when I'm using it, they can talk all at once and very quickly. So you're grabbing a word here and there. It's when we take it home, we slow it right down to get what they're actually saying.
Yeah.
I only hear a word there and here and there. And with the ghost boxes, I do like it, but the white noise can be irritating as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing about the PSP7 too. Yeah, the white noise.
Live walk, guys. Okay. Well,
yeah.
Hope you posted it so we can come over and watch it.
For sure.
I'm gonna have to go check you out too. Very shows.
I'll have to watch your channel. I don't think I'm subscribed, so I'll subscribe to you, Tracy, so I can watch some of your investigations.
Tracy's the one that I had on last week, and let me tell you, one experience I always talk about is when I was at the Yulee Road Cemetery in South Australia, and I saw the black shadow figure in the cemetery. And Tracy went there, I think in January or Feb, and she actually caught the shadow figure on camera. She has a photo of it. One of her investigators was standing like near the tree, near the trail cam, and it took a photo, and there's this really tall black figure standing behind her.
Wow.
It was unreal.
Active buildings in Kapunda. Yeah, there is.
There is. The museum was our favourite.
Yeah, downstairs. That was fantastic.
Yeah, the museum.
Yeah.
Even where the old railway area is, where we went near the park, we got a few good photos. That was before we had our channel, so next time we'll film it. But we got a few good photographs. I actually got one grave, and it looked like someone standing behind the grave looking at us. That was in St. John's.
Wow.
Yeah.
I went to St. John's. I didn't catch anything. I was bummed, though. I was hoping that I would.
Look, it's not as scary as what I was hoping it would be.
No.
You know, we heard Kapunda was like the most scariest place in Australia. It's the most haunted town. And we're like, well, that's an invitation. We need to go there. So we saved our pennies, jumped on a plane, couldn't get there quick enough. And either it was a really dull couple of nights or it was haunted. We got stuff, but nothing like that blew my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've actually heard from a lot of people that they think that the general cemetery in Kapunda is more haunted. When I went to the general, I got nothing. I felt nothing. But when I went to St. John's, you kind of walk in and it feels fine. But I had a kind of a, you know, when your blood sugar drops and you get real weak and shaky, I got like that at the back. I didn't get to go there at night though. I'd love that. So, yeah.
Well, we went and it was pretty flat that night. We went and a couple of people with us. Got a few good photos, but I've heard from Alan Tiller that he's gone there at night and they've had rocks thrown at them. It just depends on what night you go.
Yeah.
You know. And I've heard all about Unearthly, so that'd be on my hit list too.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely go to Yulee. Definitely.
For sure.
I always want. I mean, I know that you can't go in there and film, and I had this someone last week say no, you can't. But the Kapunda Hotel, ever since I saw it on, I believe it was Haunted Australia, the one with Alan Tiller. Is it called Haunted Australia? I'm sure it is. And they went down the little hallway that's blocked off to everyone, and they call it the hallway of hell or something like that. I always wanted to go in there.
Yeah, you can buy a tour. You can book a tour to go upstairs.
Yeah.
We went there for dinner and they let us look downstairs and take photos and stuff down in the basement where they start the tours. But we couldn't go upstairs unless we were part of the tour. So, but apparently upstairs is where it's all happening.
Do they still allow you into that hallway through the tour?
Which upstairs, yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That was what 2019.
Yeah.
It was just for people that were on the tour could go up there. But we just came by ourselves and went, "Hey, we've heard all about this place. Can we come up?" You know, and they just said no. But you can go and have a look downstairs. That's fine. And even down there, it felt a bit creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nothing compared to Wiseman's Ferry.
No.
Nothing. Like, I recommend anyone have a night there. For sure.
Can you stay overnight there at Wiseman's?
Yeah, yep.
You can?
As long as you stay upstairs, like you rent a room upstairs, you're allowed to go anywhere around upstairs. Yep.
Okay.
At the night we went, there was only one other person staying there, so he said you got free reign of upstairs, the veranda, and the museum.
See, I think this is what we need. I said before, if there's anyone who's tech savvy and can make apps, I think we need an app or something where you and I or everyday people can go in and input information so that we have a database of haunted locations in Australia. Because there are so many places that you come across from word of mouth, haunted locations that you never knew about. I never heard of Wiseman's Ferry before I saw your video.
Yeah. Always had a reputation. And another one that's over that side is the St Albans Hotel. It's a really old 1800 style. It is haunted. The owners live upstairs, so you can't go up there. But they're pretty open to you having a look around downstairs, and you can stay there overnight. There's like
Serenity Sue's on too.
Cabins out the back. Hi,
G'day,
Serenity Sue.
It's
Hi, Serenity. 7:15 a.m. We're in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, because some of the places that Irish and Sue has over there blows my mind. I'd love to go to Ireland. That's definitely on my bucket list.
In the bell, 1:15 a.m.
It is
It's 4
o'clock here in the afternoon.
It is. My dad, he did a European trip with my stepmom and her mum a few years ago, and they went to France, Rome, Italy, and then Rome is in Italy, and then they went across to Ireland. That's where my dad's family comes from, O'Brien Bridge there in County Clare. And then I can't remember if they went through, I think they went through part of Scotland. So, yeah. You know all these guys, don't you? We should be dropping your links.
And if anyone's not subscribed to them. They've got mad channels. Every time they have one, I'll watch them. Sometimes I get a bit behind because I work weird shifts and I'll work 16, 17 hours straight. So I do apologise if I'm a day or two late, but you guys are the first ones I turn on.
Oh, yes. And especially all the locations they get. They go underneath crypts, underneath churches. And
the ages of the place.
Love them.
We're a pretty young country. We're only built in 1788, Australia, and then most of the old places are like the 1800s here. So I love the old places. UK is definitely on my hit list.
You are great.
Oh, thank you.
They are great people.
And if we ever get over there, we're coming out with them to check out their cemeteries for sure if we get to that town.
Where are they exactly?
Have more to do, but the rain hasn't stopped here. We've had one sunny day today.
Yeah.
And I've got one more story I can tell. But other than that, we're just waiting for the rains to dry up so we can get some more content because we're just being hit by the floods here in New South Wales. It's really bad.
Especially where you are.
More than welcome to come here, guys. We'll meet you.
Thank you. I'd love to.
Yeah, definitely. We always watch your channels.
And if you ever come to Australia, we'd love to show you around also.
That's a good thing. I mean, a lot of us investigators here in Australia, we're spread out everywhere. So you could just bunny hop around to all the different places where we are.
That's it. And we're big people on Para-Unity and supporting each other's channels. And we're all in the same boat, and we're doing what we love. So there's no reason why we need to get territorial over locations or places,
Yep, exactly.
That's what I'm all about, being there for one another.
That's it. Yep. We support anybody. Doesn't matter who they are, where they are. We're always happy to chat to anybody, anywhere, anytime.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, this is, something that I'd been pushing for a couple of years. I would say a year and a half, 2 years ago. I would do a lot of live streams and I would always encourage people, you want to come up, talk about your channel, come up, have a chat with me. And people never did. And I think it's because the paranormal, I mean, it's better now, but back then the community was so broken and fragmented. Yeah. But I love the fact now that you've got so many different investigators working together and helping each other. And that's what it should be about too,
Yep.
So,
For sure.
Yeah.
I think Para-Unity, it's never been dead, but I think more and more people are more embracing it, being there for each other. It's just a nice feeling.
Yeah, it is. I think it's taken just some time to build. I think that's all it is. So, hey, Mr. Lyons, hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
We're all unique. We're all unique. There's no channel that's the same. So
exactly.
Everybody's got a, unique style. And I've said that before on, give them a watch because we might not be someone's cup of tea, but someone else will. You know what I mean?
Yep. Exactly.
No competition.
Irish eyes. Honestly, my mum is from County Clare. I just saw that. We've on my dad's side, we've kept the name O'Brien going back, way back to the beginning to Brian Baru. I think that's his name. So yeah, we came from the O'Brien's Bridge area in County Clare. That's all I know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I love what I do. I love what you guys do. I love what everybody does. I love the paranormal world.
It's surprising what I do watch on YouTube. I don't just watch ghost hunting and stuff like that. Like I subscribe to fishermen, people go exploring and stuff like that. And everybody's got a technique as how they do their YouTube. And sometimes I learn something, and then if I know something, I'll pass it on to people. Like putting subtitles in. I've noticed since I put subtitles in for all different languages, there's been a lot of countries that I've never seen come aboard, and it's like 3 or 4% in those different countries, and they all started to wait a minute, started to watch my videos.
Yeah. You know, I got right into the abandoned world for a long time. I was subscribed to a lot of abandoned, still am. Because it fascinated me, because we don't have the same opportunities here that the Americans do, because as you said before, they pull everything down here. And it always fascinated.
Saying do not enter.
Yeah.
So if you do it, I mean, you do it with one eye out for the police anyway.
Yes, true.
We did at Hill 60, and we've got one abandoned location I want to do, and I'm going to risk it. So,
yeah. Oh. So we better
legally, there is no law unless it says people entering will be prosecuted. But if there's no signs like that, legally they can't do anything than ask you to leave.
Yeah.
I did look it up. Unless you're being a nuisance and you're destroying the place, which is fair enough, I'd ask them to leave. I mean, I hate people that destroy and, what's the point?
Yeah.
Where do they get off on that? And I really hate people that hurt graves. That really upsets me, because I think that is someone's mum, dad, daughter, whatever, resting in peace there. And I always try and be respectful as possible. I even apologise to them if I look in the crypt, like, sorry. But yeah,
it fascinates
any harm.
Yeah. No, and that's, I think those few people give the rest of us a bad name, but I came across someone a little, about a week or so ago, and it was a fellow who claimed, and I believe he's a Christian man, and I don't like to bring, religions or anything into it, but he claims that every spirit you talk to is a demon pretending to be something it's not, wanting to drag you in to take your soul. So every spirit you talk to is a demon. Every entity you ever come into contact with is a demon.
Yeah.
And
disagree.
I disagree too, and I kind of just gently walked away, because everybody's got their own opinions about the spirit world, and I guess that there are some people that don't like what we do. Especially in small towns like where I live. They leave me alone when I go down to the cemeteries, but there are people that'll drive past a few times and look in at what you're doing. A lot of people don't want to know about it.
You get more people stopping. That's what I do. I get in my witchy dress and pop down there with my big, pentagram or something on my chest, and people go, "Oh,
oh God." Then they'd probably be like...
You'll see a Halloween special. You'll see who dressed up.
I walked around in my pagan outfit, and it was funny. Through the ghost box, it said pagan. As I walked past their grave, and I went, well, it's only because I'm dressed for the part. But it was funny. I want to get in the mood, But yeah, I don't worry, because I get a lot of people at work go, are you crazy? You go to cemeteries at night? Are you normal? And I go, well, it's just a matter of opinion, really, because...
Yep.
do we sit there and judge anyone that climbs a mountain or, you know,
No worries,
goes,
Sue. Talk soon.
yeah, thank you for being on and giving your support. You know, it means so much.
See you, Sue. Thank you for coming in.
And Irish Eyes too.
Irish.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, and I don't judge anyone that wants to jump out of a plane or go hang gliding or anything like that. If you're into the extreme sports, I hold my hat up to you. I'm too much of a chicken to do that kind of thing. But if that's your thrill, go for it. And this is just my thrill.
Yeah, exactly. You know, exactly. I can't remember what I was going to say. You know, I don't walk around in, you know, my pagan outfits or anything crazy here, although I would if I wanted to. But I've got my merch, and my merch, it's got haunted in big black letters down the back of it, and I wear that everywhere, and I kind of get some looks because I'm a small town here, you know.
Yeah, you would in your town.
Yeah.
You would in your town. Well, I've been to a few cemeteries in Windsor. It's kind of like on the outskirts of Sydney. It's more of an old town, and I've worn my big black cloak.
Yep.
And I've had people look at me, and I turn and wave, and then they quickly look away.
Aww. See, I
I'm
think
a friendly person. So,
I think it'd be magic. I think it'd be magic to get you out there in the cemetery, you know, just on dusk in your cloak and that, and take some, you know, promotional video photos and that, you know, for your stuff. I think that'd look amazing. You know?
I love all that kind of stuff. Even when we got married, I had my big gothic black wedding dress.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Because we got our photos done in a cemetery because it's us, you know.
Yeah.
And there was people there, like mourning, and I thought, oh no, they're going to tell us we're being disrespectful or something.
Yeah.
And they actually thought it was great. They wanted a photo done with us. So we had our photos done with them, and then they went back to doing what they're doing, and we went walking through the tombstones having pictures, you know. So we weren't hurting anyone. We thanked the spirits for allowing us to use their space for photos, and then we left.
Mm-hmm. I think that, like, we don't walk into cemeteries doing demonic, you know, rituals or anything else, and we're not destroying anything. And I think a cemetery is a place not only for mourning, but also to go in and talk to the people and kind of remember who they were as well. You know, that's why we have this place that we can go to. If we didn't want to remember people after they were gone, we'd cremate everyone. We wouldn't have cemeteries. So I think that, you know, the more people that are accepting it these days of what we do, I like to see that, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're just there to appreciate. And cemetery actually means a park, a place of rest.
Yes.
So it doesn't mean, you know, only where dead people go. A lot of them are beautiful and serene, especially with fountains and little ponds and places where you can just sit there and appreciate life and appreciate the people that were here once. Like, I always thank them, especially, like, you know, the older ones, and I go, like, you guys have made roads and buildings, you know, it's because of you that we have all these conveniences now.
Exactly, yeah. That's a really good way of putting it. We all bring something unique based on our own experiences. We do.
That's true. Very
and
true.
we learn. We learn from each other.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know how many things I've learned, you know, about the paranormal world through other investigators on YouTube. Everyone is a wealth of information.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And we've learned stuff too when we've done house investigations, you know, because we've got a couple of teams of people that deal with the dark side
Mm-hmm.
and professionally so, and they've taught us stuff too. They taught us what to look out for, and
Mm-hmm.
so we're not just walking in blinded, and how to protect ourselves. So, but in saying that, we don't know as much as they do. We still call on
Yep.
them for advice, and you know, you're always learning. There's always
Mm-hmm.
tricks of the trade, and everybody's got their own way of protecting themselves, whether they use crystals or prayer or sage or
Yep.
whatever it is that you want to use. There's no right or wrong way about it, because it's the intent that matters.
Yeah. There was a US investigator actually who put together, I think he put together a group or something, so that when they were contacted from private residences who had an infestation or a haunting, they could look in the area of where the person was and get an investigator that was close by. And actually, I experienced something similar last week, a few days ago or whatever. Someone in Melbourne was actually looking for someone to come out and investigate their house. And because of the contacts with you guys, I was able to put them in touch with Mick from Latrobe, and there was a couple of other people. So, say for instance, there was someone in Sydney and they're like, my house is haunted, I need someone to come in. I'd be like, Jason and Julia are your people. Or if you're not available, someone else in the area that does it.
Yeah. And
You
we
know.
do that. There is a Facebook page that is about that, so I'll give you the link later.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because we know people in Queensland, South Australia, Victoria, and New South Wales, so we just share it around. If we're not close, we'll offer it to someone else.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it is, Linda. I totally agree with you. It is the same thing. And I actually
Exactly.
put the necrophonic on when I was visiting a mate. And it was interesting what came through, wasn't it?
It was.
It was really interesting. That's on Jason's channel as well, where he said, "Don't grieve for me." He did say you haven't got long to go, which kind of worried me a little bit.
Oh,
He just said you won't be long, but then they have no sense of time. So 30 years could be like 2 years to them.
yeah.
But it did freak me out, and every now and then I get it like a chest pain of shit. What about what
Oh,
he said?
you think about it.
But they were very friendly, and he just said, "Don't grieve for me." What else did he say?
Did a couple of words.
Said a few things. It was only a short one because I started crying, so I stopped doing it.
Yeah.
But it was really interesting.
I think the best probably responses I ever got from a spirit box session. I used to do spirit box sessions live, and I would have people come in the chat, and I'd be like, call out to your loved ones and we'll see if they come through, if they want to send you a message. And Yvette from Ghost Pictures came in one night, and we got a name through the ghost box, and she said, oh, I can't remember if it was her brother or one of her good mates that came through. It was his name. And she said, if that's you, can you, say something to me or whatever. And he turned around and he gave her a nickname or something that he used to call her. And we're like, oh my God. And she's like, are you okay? Where are you? And he turned around and he said, Brisbane. And this is here in Tumut, mind you. And it said Brisbane. And she's like, oh my God, that's where he's buried. And it was just like he was confirming all of these details. It was insane.
That is really cool.
That is so cool.
See, that kind of evidence you can't dismiss.
Yeah.
It's fake, or it's just a coincidence or stuff like that. I mean, that kind of stuff, it has to be real. No one else would know.
Exactly. And that was through the PSB7. That wasn't even through an app or anything, Yeah, it was crazy.
Well, the stuff that we had through the app at Wiseman's Ferry, we had a historian come up and see Jason at work. and said, "Oh, look, I watched your show." And she goes, "I want to say that everything that you had come through was word to word what's in my history documents." And she's got like
Wow.
all the original documents of where the pub's stored and where the woman's buried. And she said everything that they said is 100%. So that confirmed to us that we only had the necrophonic at the time, but it was real because we didn't make it up.
Yeah.
You know. But you always wonder what's coming through. And when we got that feedback, that was real to us. That was like, wow, you know, we had no idea.
That's insane, isn't it? When you get something that's so real, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's good to get
I'm
that
blown
kind
away.
of feedback too, or experience. It's more of a confirmation.
Yeah,
that
from others.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's got to go.
Definitely.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'll probably end this now as well, guys. And yeah, once again, I want to thank you, Jason and Julia. Their links are at the top of the chat, guys, and they are also in the description. So
thank you so
yeah,
much for everybody that came on.
Yeah, thank you very much, everybody, for joining. And don't forget, guys, if you haven't liked her channel, make sure you like and subscribe, and give a thumbs up on her channel too, guys, because
thank you.
She's doing a fantastic show. So don't forget, guys, hit that like button. So it shows YouTube that her channel needs to be put more out there. So don't forget to hit that like button.
And you guys too, as well. Go check them out. All right, Tara, keep in touch. If you message me on YouTube or anything, I'll put you guys in touch with each other. So
yeah, well, she can contact us through Jason Ghosthunter Facebook page. You can click on Messenger and just send us a message. That's no problem. So that's on our Facebook page. Anybody can do that too, and that's no problems.
Yep. Perfect. All right. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you in the next podcast, everyone. See you later.